Namaste and welcome to another edition of Live, Love, Engage. And I am delighted to have a guest with us today who is coming to us all the way from the other side of the world. In fact, it's tomorrow where she is because she is Elva Li and she is coming to us from Melbourne, Australia. And I want to welcome you first off to Live, Love, Engage.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you for having me today.
I appreciate it because you are quite the powerhouse young woman, and I love what you're doing in the world. So for those of you who want to know, who are listening and watching today, let me share a little bit about what Elva is up to in the world. She is a luxury branding coach, a creative director and speaker, and she helps female coaches and founders create a soul-aligned luxury brand so that they can land high-end clients and increase their influence, income, and impact. And she has appeared on, been featured actually on the Australian Business Journal, and it's been seen on ABC, CBS, Fox, and more. And now she's gracing us with her presence. And I would love to know, we're going to really talk about how to create a soul-aligned luxury brand. But I want to just first start off with, if you would, to share with our listeners and viewers on YouTube a little bit about what got you interested in pursuing this particular line of work and type of coaching to be able to really help women in particular creating that luxury brand?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that is actually my sweet spot, but because I actually have 10 years of experience in business advisory, and I have an eye for luxury branding. I always love brand styling, and also I'm into personal development and has been trained as an NLP practitioner and a coach. So this area of work is kind of like a sweet spot for me, combine not only what I'm good at, what I really love to do, but also the things that I can help people to up level in their brand and attract high-end clients. So I'm very grateful. I find this sweet spot, I will call it, but it's not always a simple journey to find what lights you up and also what you can help with others. I call it the journey is always beautiful, but it's not always pretty. Sometimes up and downs, and in your way to find what lights you up, what's your soul's calling, and what other people want is a journey I appreciate so much, but I grow a lot, and I'm very grateful I'm here today.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well, because it is a journey. And I like how you say that it's beautiful, but it's not always pretty. That's a good way to put that. That's really cool. Why, it was interesting because I have talked with other folks before who deal with, really helping you to attract like high level clients and high quality clients and that. And I know this is something that a lot of entrepreneurs and women in particular, especially when they're first starting out, sometimes they want to be able to help people, and yet at the same time they want to grow their business, but finding that way to be able to attract high quality people can be challenging. So I like that you refer to this as actually a soul aligned luxury brand, not just a plain old ordinary luxury brand, but something that really connects with your inner work. So why is that so important?
Because without alignment, it's just like I can give you the most beautiful branding, most impactful message, but if it's not aligned with you, you feel like putting on a mask of someone you're not, and you just can't live on brand every day. And people can feel, nowadays people buy brands because they can trust, relate, and connect. But if you're not having a brand aligned with who you truly are, you can't really connect with the audience that way. So that high-end brand is one part, but so alignment is really important. And my work is all about helping women embody the luxury brand they are. And I always say luxury is not about Dior or Chanel. It's actually about standing your high worth and owning your lead and power to lead and inspire.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, one of the things that I like to teach people about, and actually I wrote about in my book, is the importance of valuing your uniqueness. So because that is so important, because yeah, when you're trying to compare yourself to others, or you feel that you have to emulate other business owners or how they're doing it, you're right that the your potential clients can really sense that, and they're not going to necessarily resonate with you. Um, touched on something there that I think is important, or maybe I want to be able to expand, have you expand on it a little bit more though, is do you, let me phrase it this way. When you're working with a client, do you find that sometimes there's this feeling of imposter syndrome, maybe that they're not, that they have trouble trying to be able to step into that high value, and how do you help, if that's so, then how do you help them to really own that value?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Actually, I would say like almost 100% of my clients somehow will have that kind of doubt and imposter syndrome, and the thinking to some extent they're not good enough for the work they're doing. So that's why I incorporate the inner work. That's what I call it, because my work has three aspects. One is the inner work. It's about mindset and helping them embody the luxury brand and the queen they are and claiming their power. Then only after the inner work, we move on to the outer work. It's learn the strategy to position yourself as a luxury brand and also create a online presence that reflect the superstar you are. And the last stage is the higher work. It's about create the soul alignment and also co-create the universe and leave your legacy. So the three phases interact together, because just as I mentioned in the beginning, if you're not embodying, if you're thinking you're not good enough, if you are worried what people will say once you put yourself out there, then all the outer work I give you makes no sense. So the first stage I work with clients is really digging into their mindset, and is there any limiting beliefs they put on themselves? Because personal brand to some extent is about you, but at the same time, I always say it's not about you, it's about your message. Once you put your message out there, some people will say yes, some people will say no, and you need to be okay with that and be the leader to embody your words, and those who resonate with your message will continue the journey with you. And also it's about mindset about money, fame, because lots of clients were worried, will, if I talking about I'm a luxury brand, will people judge me if I starting to have the fame? What people will think of me. So that's all the mindset work we need to address in the beginning, because for example, money doesn't make you a good person or bad person. It's neutral. It's actually amplify who you already are. If you have a beautiful soul, if you're here to do the great work, money actually amplify that. And same as fame, you can use your influence to do good things in the world and to make the world a better place. So those are all the inner work we need to do first. And once we starting to uncover those limiting beliefs and change it to a positive thinking, then the outer work can really start it to work its magic.
I love that. Yeah, it's so important because I know I've gone through this in my journey of having to deal with that same type of thing and figuring out these limiting beliefs and being able to release that. And I love that you're helping women do that. It's so important. Would you share a little bit about your journey in doing this? I mean, have you run into what has been maybe your own personal challenges in getting this type of your own personal branding going?
Yeah, I think for my background, I always have grown up as a good girl in Shanghai. So due to the culture there, you always listen to what your parents said and follow the traditional career path success. And that's kind of limiting my business growth or finding my own brand in the beginning. Because even when I moved to here, Australia by myself, I feel like, oh, I'm not different. I moved to a different country, I'll start new. But actually, I was following the same path. I follow what other people say or tell me to do in the business, didn't really understand what my brand is, what my soul desire is. And so basically I was following the same good girl path. And my realization point is when I started to really listen to my heart and uncover my brand essence, listen to my soul desire, and I started to attract the people that really resonates with my message. So I would say it's a journey of saying goodbye to good girl and really shine bright as who I really am. And that's how I uncover my own brand essence and help my clients to do the same. So back to the quote in the beginning, it's not always beautiful, but it's not always pretty, but it's always beautiful. And will never arrive. Sometimes you're thinking, oh, I feel like I already overcome this not good enough issue. Why I have the same thought again? I would say it's always a journey, and it's like a layer, peeling layer and layer. Sometimes the same problem will come back again. And it's here to remind us there's something deep we need to work on again. It's not about there's something wrong with us, but just it's a journey and no one ever arrived, and we need to constantly grow. And if there is a message the universe wants us to dig deep into that again, we just need to look at it again. But at the same time, this time we are equipped with more like tools, guides, and we can look at the issue from this different perspective and get back to our high vibe status quicker.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why I always recommend that people work with a coach, because you're right. Things will continue to come up, just, and I've had this in my own life as well. And with other clients, I've seen it, is that just when you kind of think you're getting somewhere, something else happens. But that is how we continue to keep growing. We have to keep growing and expanding and learning new lessons. And so it is important. And it's important to work with someone who can help you, because I'm sure you probably found this, is that with your clients, sometimes they don't maybe see things that you can see really easily. Have you found that?
Yes.
And what are some of those things? What are some of the the limiting beliefs that you found that your clients will come to you with?
Yeah, one is when I ask them, what do you really want? Lots of clients will say, oh, I don't know. But actually they know, they just afraid to declare their soul desire. So that's one thing I always challenge them to unapologetically declare what they desire. Even if it's a beautiful pair of shoes, it's not about materialistic or what people will think of you. I will say it's between you and the universe. Your desire there for a reason. Not everyone have the same desire. So that's one thing. And the other common one is the ones I mentioned, is about money and fame. We all have some limiting beliefs about money, about being rich, being famous. So these are the most common limiting beliefs.
Yeah, this is true. It's amazing. And I know it's a lot of times it's things that we just picked up when we were kids. It's things probably from our parents, or maybe even, and that they picked up from their parents. So it goes back generations. And that's why when you talk about the onion, it's going to take some layers sometimes to peel all that back and be able to step into it. So
Exactly.
what gets you really excited about the work you're doing? When you're working with a client, what really makes you
Yeah.
feel good?
I think there are two aspects really light me up every day. One is I get to help my clients bring their vision to life. So because the creative work I do, I kind of helping them to translate something just pure on paper into something visual, into something unleash the thing into the world. So that's so satisfying for me. And the other is help them to create alignment and to help them shine bright as really who they are. Because as we talk about all those limiting beliefs, all those inner work and outer work, once you started to work on these and you become a different person in the process, and you become more confident, you become more aligned. And when I see my clients before and after, the energy they exude and the confidence they have to shine bright as who they are. That's something I always just bring a smile onto my face, and I feel that's the meaning of my work. And I'm so grateful I can be on this journey with my client together.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a wonderful thing when you can see your clients blossom and and isn't it nice when they like actually take they take suggestions from and implement them. I think is a wonderful thing too. And then you can see that what you're teaching them is actually uh, works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
action is important, um, because if you don't take action, it's just like you're saying, I'm going to manifest. It's always in your mind, but you never take aligned, inspired action. Then how universe meet you there. So yeah,
Yeah.
action is really important.
Um, One question I'd like to ask, I guess from time to time, is what do you wish you had known when you started out on this adventure we call life?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think there are lots of things we learned along the journey, and we always will have a like a think fantasy like, what if I know back then? But at the same time, I kind of making peace with my life, with my past, and I understand nothing I can change about that. I think some of the things make you insane or make you like unnecessary worry is you wish you could change something in the past. So I starting to make peace with my past. I learned wisdom, but I now stop wishing I could change it because the person back then is not the person now. And I love both of me. And I think seeing myself grow and change by the time passed, and it's a beautiful gift for me too. So uh, if I have the chance to go back, I will still be myself, but more gentle to me, and then know everything's working out. The universe always has my back, and the journey is the thing I need to savor and cherish.
Absolutely. You mentioned early on that you, I guess, what's the correct word? Emigrated, right? Emigrated to Australia from Shanghai. So, what was that like? I mean, because as you say, you went there all by yourself. You moved to a whole new country, a new culture. What was that experience like, especially when you first got there?
Yeah. I would say I'm a really brave girl. Back then, I didn't know anyone in Australia. I just packed in my bag and moved here by myself, and think the world will be different, and I want to explore. Um, and luckily, I got English. I speak English back in China, so the language barrier is not that big, and the culture, especially in Melbourne, is very welcoming. So it really helped me settle down. So it's a multicultural city. I get to meet different people and embrace the different personality and the culture difference. And also, I think Melbourne very encouraging entrepreneurship. That's why that's the first time I started to see women actually can start their own business, and those coaches, those female entrepreneurs, it's like broaden my mind, and I think it's kind of a Tiffany box from the universe show me what the future can be look like. So I'm very grateful I have an open mind, and also because I was young, I'm still young, was young back then, and can really adapt really well.
Yeah. I think that definitely does help, being young. And so what do you think about, I mean, I don't know if you still, if you get to travel, and of course, okay, we're not gonna count, the past 2 years. I know that it's been dicey with traveling, but is that something that you like to do in general? And especially, do you still travel like by yourself? And what's your thoughts, especially on like women traveling alone?
Oh, I love travel back then. I remember just before the whole world lockdown, I went to Paris to have did a summer course study, and just by myself, and I really enjoy traveling the city. Just take my own time, walking on the streets. I feel like it's a different thing when you travel with friends and family and loved ones. It's a lovely feeling, but at the same time, I also require some personal space to explore, just walking on the street, taste a croissant by myself. And I got inspiration from the travel, from the food, from the culture, and from the like me time. So it's really important for me. I understand now the world is a bit different, but I think everything's starting to open up again. And I think travel definitely is on my list. And I'm also thinking about kind of develop my program to incorporate my desire for travel. So it's like a destination branding experience. I can take my clients all over the world to do branding, but also explore their feminine nature as well.
Oh, wow, that would be awesome. So would that be even like, are you considering doing like retreats or something like that? Is that what you're thinking? Or just like just sort of a nice group trip to be able to, as you say, visit, maybe even looking at other high-end brands and something like that?
Yeah, it can be a group trip, or I also want to do like a special one-on-one customized day for some clients, like VIP clients, like take them to different places and really design a day for them.
And that actually is a good segue, because I was going to ask you, so how do you work with clients generally just one-on-one, or do you do any type of group program, or how does that work?
Yeah, so because I really love the one-on-one work, so far most of my clients I work with is only one-on-one, but also I understand the limitation. If I just work with one-on-one, I can't help as many people as I want. So in the later half this year, I'm going to launch on my I call it both mentoring plus mastermind. So it's a small intimate group, but also it has my eye on their brand and also like a group environment, so that I can not only serve more people, but also let them surround themselves with other like-minded women.
Well, that sounds like that'll be a very good experience for people. And I think it'll be a success, I'm sure,
Thank
because
you.
yeah, you're doing great work in the world, and I have no doubt about it. Um, what are you curious about right now?
I'm curious about lots of things, like because the world is open, what's the next destination and my next program working with my client. And I have always open-minded towards, even every day, every morning, what I say in my after my meditation is thank you for the great news and the gift from the universe for me today. So every day I have a curious mind and treat life every day as a like gift, as a present. I'm just like the birthday girl. You're about to discover what's in that for me today.
I like that. Um, is there anything else that I should have asked you about, when we're talking about soul aligned luxury brands, or anything else that you think would be important for our audience to hear today?
I think you asked lots of great questions. I think we dive deep into like the soul work, the inner work. And if I want to leave the audience some like questions to help them to ponder themselves, I would say, how can you really embody your brand every day? How can you unapologetically embody your desire? For example, if let's say if you want to go to Paris, but the world is not open yet, can you play some Paris background music in your living room? Can you buy yourself a beautiful bunch of rose, and oh, can you put on a beautiful lipstick to remind you of the feeling? So I want to challenge my the audience today to just take one small step to help you embody your desire, embody your higher self, embody your next level. Even if it's just put on some perfume, and what can you do that today? Yeah.
I love that. That's great advice. So thank you so much. If someone listening to you today says, I think I need to work with Elva, what is the best place for people to get in touch with you?
Thank you. You can go to my website, it's elvali.com, and you can find all the information there, and we'd love to help another beautiful soul.
All right, awesome. Well, I will make sure that I have that in the show notes for those of you who may be listening somewhere and you don't have a pen handy. So just go to liveloveengagepodcast.com and you'll be able to get all that information. And again, thank you so much for starting your day with us today. And I appreciate what you're doing. And I wish you much success in the rest of this year and in the future.
Thank you so much once again for having me. And I wish the podcast can reach more and more people because I love your podcast. It's so beneficial and I love each every episode. Cannot wait to listen to this one myself.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank all of you for listening and watching. And I encourage you, if you have gotten value out of this one, to share it with a friend, let other people know about it. And that would be awesome. And until next time, as always, I encourage you to go out today and every day and live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.